Hey, welcome to Dove's Movie Reviews. As you can see, it is me, Dove, doing a review of a movie. This movie in particular, called Saw X. It's a new entry in the Saw series. This is the 10th Saw film, as far as I'm aware. And... Excuse me, sir, what are you doing in my car?
Big twist right here, motherfucker. I am Dove. I am Dove. I am the real Dove. You aren't the real Dove. This is an imposter trying to take over my fucking channel.
Damn it.
Yeah.
You caught me.
I caught you, motherfucker.
Looks like I have to be put in one of those saw traps.
Oh yes, I'm gonna put you in a trap where you have to where you have to watch yourself for 48 hours, and I know you'll be tickled to death. And I just some weird abstract trap like that, and I feel like that's, I know, tickling is technically torture though.
Yeah,
it actually fucking is. That's like the most kinkiest fucking trap. Jesus Christ. But anyways, yeah, we just got out of watching Saw X. This is going to be a spoiler review of the film. That's a weird fucking way to open up a spoiler review, but that's the best opening you have. It's better to have an opening than not have an opening. So I want to really just, get the wheels spinning on this. So just kicking things off, talking about the traps, Lachlan.
Let's address the elephant in the room. The eyeball trap, as you can see on the poster, the marketing, yada 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 yada.
That's the big one.
I was excited for that, actually.
Yeah, that's the big one. When I first saw that teaser poster, I was like, this is going to be one of the most disturbing traps, if not the most disturbing trap in the entire Saw franchise. And then, then we got the official trailer, and we got more of a look at the trap, and then it was marketed in every goddamn TV spot, every billboard, worldwide, and it was the most talked about trap going into this film. And it doesn't live up to the hype. That's the big question.
Because it's a dream sequence.
Yes. The eyeball trap is a dream sequence, which, I'm not going to say I'm a hater of dream sequences. I just like good dream sequences. I mean... Like
the ones when I go to bed. That's the only dream sequences I care about.
It makes sense why he kind of views the world and views these people who do awful things, and why he kind of imagines them in a trap. But then they build this big abstract sequence of that imagination. While it gives us a good look into John Kramer's mindset, I hated that it was a dream sequence. And I'm gonna be honest as well, I thought that scene was very bloodless. There was, if not no blood in that scene. You saw the eyeballs come out, you saw them fly around in the tubes, but I was expecting as soon as the eyes come out, for all the blood to be sucked out of his sockets as well. That's what I was expecting.
It was like a cool game of bingo, though. It just reminded me of a fucking bingo, of all things. The fucking bit where they pulled the fucking fingers back like this.
Oh,
bro, what if the dude's double jointed? It's not gonna do shit.
True.
You're gonna be real unlucky to pick up someone who can actually
Oh yeah, to actually really bend their fingers back like that.
Look at that. That's how far they bend it back. And
no, they bend it back all the way.
Wait, really?
They bend it back all the fucking way to to their
palm.
Oh,
F words.
They bend it back all the way, and that I'm not gonna say this is an easy trap, but I think this trap would have been a lot less painless if you didn't do it just one at a time. I'm not sure how the trap was actually designed, but from the looks of it, looks like he could just go from 0 to 5 instantaneously. You didn't have to go 1, 2, 3. I feel like you're just putting more pain on yourself than what's required in that trap. But at the same time, due to all the panic, all the adrenaline that's going through his body, his brain wouldn't be functioning, the normal way that it would. And so, I kind of see that, but I was like, dude, just turn it to 5. Just turn it to 5. You'll be out of the trap. You can go to a hospital. You'll probably be put in a cask for a month. But that's fine as long as you don't fucking die. Yeah, I don't know.
Bro,
that trap was just disappointing.
Bro, it was a dream sequence.
I know, but like, still, I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
But like,
I mean, that's like, that's the trap that everybody's going to this movie really, hyped to see what the payoff is going to be, and it's just, like, it wasn't really even all that disturbing. I mean, I understand it's a dream sequence. I understand, there's different logic and different rules with that, but yeah, I found that to be very disappointing. And then it cuts back in time where you see he's actually putting the watch and the wallet and all that back in the drawer.
Yeah, which I forgot to mention as well. The reason why he dreamt about him in that trap in the first place was because he was stealing the wallet, keys, or whatever it is, in a nursing home, like where they look after like fucking geriatrics and shit.
Yeah.
And since he put all the stuff back, Kramer's like, "Oh, thanks, cunt." I forgot what he said exactly, but he said something like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't say the C word.
Nah,
I'm worried like my mum could watch this. Let's talk about the other traps. There were deals in the like you said, the Mexican kind of themed ones.
Yes,
which,
liked. The Mexican one was the brain surgery one.
Yeah,
because that one I thought I'm gonna say that's probably the most brutal trap in this entire movie. I really liked the whole, like the whole kind of closing of the mask and then like electrifying him.
Yep.
I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really sick. And the mask kind of had like Mexican type symbolism on it, and like a very Mexican style of mask, and so I really liked that. And then what other traps was it? Oh, the fucking leg one. The
marrow one, yeah.
Yeah, the leg one. That one, that was really cool. That was really cool because it's, she has like she has kind of her leg, and then there was a second step to that trap.
She had to grab a little suction tube.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, she had to put it. Yeah, she had to put it
stick
inside
it
her leg.
into and then bone marrow.
Yeah, she had to fill up her she had to fill up that.
Yeah,
tube.
that tank.
Yeah.
But like there's a filter there which catches all the bone marrow.
Yeah.
And the bone marrow acts like as a weight, so if you put like enough bone marrow into it, she'd be free from the trap.
Yeah,
And it was so fucking tense too, because I was because the one thing, and here's another thing I'd like to talk about soon. The one thing about this Saw movie, if she did it, she would have been home free.
Yeah,
there's no levels, there's no like different rooms, levels. This is not Doom, but like, there's no different rooms with different traps and whatnot. It's just one big warehouse with a series of different traps for each individual.
Yes.
Which
that I like. That I thought was was different this time around, because in the previous Saw movies, it's always been different locations, different rooms, whether it's an abandoned classroom from the opening of Saw 3, or like or just these different locations that the franchise visits. I think what I liked about this one compared to the others is everybody sees the pain everyone's going through, and that I thought was very unique here. I thought was a very different direction to the other films, and one thing I also really liked about the traps in here is the second trap in this movie really caught me off guard. I think some people are definitely gonna hate the second trap.
Was that the bone one?
No, the second trap, that was the that was the scissors like knife one where the guy had the sticky tape the bomb on him.
That one,
Yeah. And that one I think is really going to be very hit or miss with Saw fans, because I'm gonna be honest, I liked the direction that they took that, where the guy actually got out of the trap, because everybody goes to a Saw movie, they want to see them fail. And so, this film kind of takes that concept, and I think it really plays with audiences' expectations, because I think, these are the type of traps where if you just think about it for like, 2 seconds, there's a logical way out. There's a way that, it will still inflict, pain on you, but you're going to survive.
Yeah.
And that I really like. And, I think the second trap, I think, is probably one of the most surprising moments in this entire franchise. for me.
I loved how primitive it looks.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the other traps feel very high tech in a way.
Yeah.
And I loved how, like,
what, like
primitive
in this movie or just in the franchise? In
Oh,
general?
I'm just in, like, the later... No, not later. Like, in the early installments.
Yeah.
Like, because this film is set between Saw 1 and Saw 2.
Correct, yes.
This is very primitive, like the
It
traps.
is.
And it just makes it look more gnarly.
It does.
Like,
it does.
how he had, like, the fucking... duct tape all over his
Yeah.
hands and like the little knives.
Yeah, and how
like,
he had to
protruding
how
out.
he had to kind of dig into himself as well.
Yeah, and
I really liked.
And I loved how, like, you know, if he were to like the knives are kind of like serving as false hopes, you know, too,
Yeah.
to like because
Yeah.
his first instinct was to stab the window, try and get out,
Yeah.
but he had to cave in and fucking go
Yeah.
wing.
Yeah, he had
on
to
his
cut
arm.
off the wires from the inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a trap that I think some fans will be pissed off by. I think in the way we just don't get to really see the payoff for it. Like, we know what would have happened to the guy. The guy would have, you know, been spluttered around the room in a fucking million pieces.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think the illusion, I think the imagination of that trap of what would have happened to him, I think that's a lot more stronger than actually seeing it. And, you know, I just, you know, once again, I thought it was different. I thought it was something different we haven't seen in, you know, in previous Saw films. Like, it's been alluded to, but we've never really kind of seen it kind of come in, you know, in fruition like this. I mean, you know, disregarding the first film, because Amanda got out of the reverse bear trap, you know, in the original 2004 film, and so, you know, there's been a few occasions, but, you know, it's been, you know, a good while since we've actually revisited, you know, that type of trap. So, you know, that I really liked. And, you know, all of the traps in here, just, you know, I really enjoyed. One trap I do want to mention, which really had me nail biting, and I was not expecting this, is, I guess you can call it John Kramer's test. Or his so-called trap. That I fucking loved. That I thought was the best shit ever.
Where, like, the kid and him were on the seesaw.
It had to be a balance. You know, I love that. I love that. It reminded me of, like, a bloody, what was it? Of like a seesaw. Like,
yeah, that's what I said, seesaw.
Yeah, you have to find that perfect, you know, balance and all that. And, you know, that I loved, because throughout the ending, I was like, you know, this guy is incredibly smart. Like, before putting the people in the trap, I'm sure he would think this through at, like, you know, at all the things that could go wrong, and all the things, you know, that could happen. So I was just like, I feel like he's giving up just way too easy here, and it just seems like there was a lot of talking from him. There wasn't a whole lot of fighting back. So I was just like, you know, is he actually, you know, going to die here? Is this going to be the fate? But then I remembered, this is before Saw 2. Yep. John Kramer survives in Saw 2 and Saw 3. So I was like, yeah, he's not going to die. He has something up in his sleeve here. And apparently, you know, it was that main chick's, you know, game all along. Yeah. And, you know, then that brings me to the twist ending here. You know, the twist ending I was not a fan of. I really was. I wouldn't really even call it a twist. It's not really a twist, because it's like, it's so obvious if you've seen
a series of foreshadowings.
Yeah,
that's what I'll call it.
Because, like, if you've seen the other movies, you know that, you know it's not going to, you know, it's not going to end, you know, end with John Kramer dying. It's not going to end the way you think. So, you know, I think that was something that, you know, I liked it, but I was just like, you know, this, you know, okay, no, saying it's obvious is definitely an understatement. It's definitely kept, you know, in the background of the story, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really quite get one of the franchise's best twists. Yeah, what do you think?
I wouldn't call it a twist. It's, like I said, a series of foreshadowings that you only the astute like would see first and foremost.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like forgot about some of the things they said, Until like, you know, at the
Until
end,
it
they
actually
just, like,
has all those
yeah.
flashbacks. Yeah.
It's like, hey, you remember this, you dumb fuck? I'm like, oh, yeah, they said that. Oh, okay. Now they're gonna kill each other.
Every other Saw movie has had flashbacks when it comes to the twist ending.
Yeah, but like this,
So I wouldn't even call it like a whole, you know, like you dumb fucks kind of a moment. Huh?
yeah, haha, you dumb fucks. I bet you didn't guess what happens.
Yeah, and you know, this isn't. You know, I talked about this in my spoiler-free review, and I do want to elaborate it on a bit more here. This isn't a Saw movie. This is not a Saw movie by any means. Because, you know, while it has all the signature things that resembles a Saw movie, I wouldn't say that this film is a Saw film at heart.
Why does it say, according to Wikipedia, Saw X is an upcoming American horror film?
It's, I mean...
And it's the 10th installment
It's
overall
not-
in the Saw film series.
I wouldn't really call it a horror film. I wouldn't really call it a horror film because what this movie is this is a drama piece. This is a film that's about a family, and I think, you know, they're two of the big themes in the Saw X.
Look, we got Saw in the Saw franchise. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna stop being a dick.
You know, and I think that's something that I really liked about this movie compared to the other films. Is this is a film that centers on John Kramer as John Kramer, not John Kramer as Jigsaw, and you get to kind of see his everyday life, and you really get to see that he isn't, you know, he isn't a bad person. He isn't, you know, as what the other movies kind of, you know, interpret him as. And so, you know, that I really liked. You know, he's actually a very, you know, civil and, you know, warm human being that just, he has a lot of respect for the human life. And so, you know, that was something I really liked in the first half an hour of this movie was more just seeing that, because this is something that hasn't been explored in the Saw franchise as of yet. What?
It keeps smelling something.
Right.
Smells like fucking Tobin Bell. Like it's like this very old man sort of smell. I'm not even joking. Like,
Well, like it's Tobin Bell is not an old man. He's still going strong. The guy's still going strong. The guy's a legend.
yeah, okay. Jokes aside,
The
he's
guy's a
cool.
legend. Yeah, he's great. Like, this is his 10th. Oh, is this his 10th? No, this is his 11th time as Jigsaw, because he was, you know, Jigsaw in Jigsaw.
Yeah.
So, you know, and you know, I think he's still going strong. I think this is probably one of his, if not, this is his best performance in the entire Saw franchise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would say that because I think this film really, it's very reliant on Tobin Bell's acting, on his the more emotional side of his performance, and the more grounded layers of his character. I think this film is more reliant on, and I think that's something that I really liked in here. I'm gonna be honest, I really liked the whole, you know, family confrontation by the end of this movie. They meet what is it, Carlos. They meet Carlos, and then
Oh, the little
the little kid, and you know, I really liked, you know, that family confrontation, because I think, you know, John Kramer, I think he sees like, you know, that this kid, he still has, you know, a long life ahead of him. He's still, he's innocent. He hasn't done anything wrong. He's, you know, Carlos has just kind of been brought into this situation that he knows nothing about. And so, you know, I think I really liked, you know, that, you know, the ending that this film ends on, which this is a very different ending compared to the other Saw films. Like, you know, this film in general, I would just say, is very different.
Yeah, it's
Because it opens differently, it ends differently. There's a lot of different themes that this movie has that have never been discovered.
It's the first time I felt touched by an ending of Saw.
Yeah.
How it was him, that Amanda chick,
Yeah.
and Carlos walking out to the peaceful, yellow, very green-looking Mexico outside.
Yeah.
I know, that's all I have to say about the ending. Very
Yeah.
heartwarming and nice.
Yeah. You know,
It's like having a lovely cup of wine with mum and dad.
fair enough. Yeah, so, you know, yeah, I really like that. Like, I really just liked seeing, you know, just John Kramer as this really, you know, as just this human being. And I think really just kind of fleshing him out more in here. And, you know, that's something I really like. And I think this is probably my favourite, my favourite, version of Jigsaw out of any of the, Saw movies. And then jumping to the big thing, which I was really looking forward to here, is the after credit scene.
The tickle torture. It fucking is. You can't tell me otherwise. It legit looks like a machine strapped to this dude's stomach with like knives like going at his like abdomen like this. And I thought it was like
what, so basically like Freddy Krueger style.
Yeah, like like just on someone's stomach.
Yeah, like that, that fucking, that after credit scene, that had me, that had me just laughing. I had the biggest smile on my face, leaving the theater. Like, as soon as Hoffman showed up, I fucking just shouted out. I'm actually not joking him a little bit. I shouted out, yes. Yeah. I was the only one in my theater to really, get that blood pumping in me, to really just, get excited to see Hoffman. I mean, we all knew, Costas Mandylor was in this movie. We all knew. I mean, his post over the past, like, month or so, regarding the Saw franchise and his gratitude, I was like, you're doing this so close to the fucking Saw X release date. I think there's definitely something underneath the surface here that, that we're not missing. Well, he was never confirmed. It was so fucking obvious. Like, if Costas Mandylor didn't make it obvious, I mean, Hoffman's been there since the beginning, since Saw 1. So it was obvious that he was going to show up in this movie at some point. And, I really liked, what that after credit scene kind of built, what it's kind of building to, as well as far as like the future of the franchise. I was a little bit disappointed in the after credit scene, a little bit.
Nah, Custard Manlord, man. Fucking Custard Manlord, what a lad.
What was it? Costas Mandylor.
Oh, whatever.
I heard you say Lord, like Mandalord.
Oh no, I thought it was like, I heard Custard Mandalord or whatever.
Well, Custard Mandalord.
Okay, thank
you.
you.
Did you hear that?
Oh, it just sounded like you said custard.
No.
Or custard. Oh.
No, I know Costas Mandalor.
Oh,
but it was great to see Hoffman back, and it was great to hear his voice. It was great to see Hoffman finally back in the franchise again, and like the whole tickle torture trap. I don't know, like I have to really see what the payoff of that is, but I know that was a pretty funny trap, the way it was kind of found. I think it's a very like visually interesting trap. The fact that it's kind of strapped to his body, and the fact that it doesn't look like it's a fast death. And the other thing that was kind of disappointing to me about this movie, which I think will disappoint a lot of people, is the bathroom. Is they bring back that iconic bathroom setting from the first movie. They don't do anything with it. So I'm assuming that this takes place at least 6 weeks after the events of the first movie. And if I'm just trying to put some timeline things here together. So it was in Saw 3, I believe, Lachlan, that Amanda suffocated Adam. So I was looking closely at the after credit scene. I didn't see Adam's corpse anywhere. I saw I saw the skeleton that we've seen in every other sequel, but I didn't see Adam. And I'm just thinking, it's only a few weeks after the events of the first Saw, so I was like, Adam's body would not be decaying yet, so it would still be in the corner. He would be just laying down on the ground. So I was just like, it would have been just cool just to have that little moment just for the people who think Adam's alive, and just seeing that body, even just having a little Lee Winnell cameo in there, even just as like a dead body, I would have been down for that. So it was kind of disappointing that we didn't really get that in here. and you know, it doesn't really give a whole lot of context as to why we're kind of going back to the bathroom, since that's something that is one of probably the most, famous locations in this franchise. It was just kind of disappointing to me as like a hardcore fanatic that it wasn't really utilized more, that we didn't get to see, like a full-fledged trap. And it looks like the after credit scene was actually supposed to be in the movie.
Yeah.
It did look like it was a scene that was in the movie at one point in one of the edits, and then it was cut out and just put in the after credit scene. That's kind of what, that's kind of really what it, felt like a bit to me. I just want to make sure, there's nothing I'm missing here. The characters in here are absolute douchebags. What do you reckon? The characters in here are absolute douchebags.
Yeah, fucking John Kramer, what a fucking asshole. Torturing people. That's just very...
No.
I'm not
talking
believe people would do stuff like that. What happened to, like, saying someone, I love you, And just hugging them.
Oh, yes, those 3 sweet little words.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Works a lot better than torturing people. Okay, I reckon...
Yeah, but then how do these people appreciate life if you just hear the words, I love you? Yep. Where's the appreciation in life?
That way, Saw will go from a torture porn horror film
to basically a family film.
To a lovely family drama.
Yeah, which this film is. If you can give one good reason in the fucking comments that this is... that this is not a family drama movie and is not a horror movie, like and isn't I'm all ears. So
I'm 2 years.
Funny. But yeah, I had a decent time with this movie. I'm looking forward to watching it again tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to really, enjoying this movie a lot. I think there's a lot in here for fans to enjoy. I think this film is a perfect, in-between film. I think it gets a lot of the story right. While the film, it's missing a lot of the major things that this franchise is, like the whole, 35mm that the other, films were shot in. Some of the color grading is back here. Some of the color grading is back. It's not something that's so. It's, it felt different to me, but then on the other hand, it kind of goes with the style of this one. What do you reckon?
Well,
like the whole,
it's just it's much more dingy than all the previous Saw films. Oh wait, no, did we talk about that? Like, it's just more rank looking. Yeah, we did talk about that. Like, it just looks more primitive.
More primitive, yes, yeah.
Like, the warehouse setting.
Yeah.
The fucking, the traps, they're very, like... Wait, we did mention about the levels, didn't we?
That was, I believe, that's either in this review or the spoiler-free one.
Oh,
we've recorded them both back-to-back, so I'm not...
I'm way too tired to think, man.
Yeah, no, okay, fair enough. I will wrap this up now. But I think here for now, still a 7 out of 10. This is a very solid entry in the Saw franchise. I think there's a lot of entertainment in here for Saw fans. I think there's a few surprises in here that Saw fans will enjoy. I think this is a film. If I was doing a Saw marathon, I wouldn't miss out on this. So, this is, I think, one of the best ones. I think in the franchise.
After Saw X,
aha!
I don't think it saw.
Jesus Christ! you don't think it sucks? Or was it
Socks.
Socks.
Can I get it because it's like S-A.
Yes, I get the fucking.
Ha 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 ha! Funny
guy. What's your final rating on the movie that you want to tell my audience?
7 out of 10. Fucking easy.
7 out of 10, easy. And any final words you want to say?
I'm tired.
So make sure to follow this guy's channel. What is it? Rest in Pieces Productions.
If you want, don't follow it if you don't want to, but fuck it if you want to.
But check out his content. He does a lot of amazing movie reviews, a lot of great videos on his channel, and he has Stalker Part 3 coming out in November, which where this is the director himself right here. So we're very excited to present that to you. So that's coming out soon. Anyways, guys, let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Bye.